Hello, this is the Ballin Out web app where we can compare NFL and NBA players. This app's really good for sports fans who may not know that much about one sport and may want to draw comparisons between the sport they know and the sport they don't. It also allows users to view kind of a timeline of a player's career, and they can see whether they were declining towards the end of their career, or maybe they were just really consistent and solid throughout their whole career. But first, we kind of have the basic operations. So you go look up players. So let's say I want to look up a player that doesn't exist right now. Let's say a test player. And you see they aren't in the database right now. So user wants to add a player to the database. They can go to insert a player here, put in a test player, and let's say their position is a shooting guard. And it says it was successfully added. So go right here and check if they are now in the database. So test player is now in the database with the correct position. Let's say maybe a user wants to change a player's position. So let's go here and let's make them a small forward now. And go ahead and check in the database if the player was successfully updated. And yes, they were successfully updated. And finally, maybe they don't want that player in the database anymore. There was an error in the data they entered, so they want to delete it. And then now test player is no longer in the database again. All right, so it's one of our advanced functions here. So we're comparing player performances. So let's say maybe I know um, football really well, and I kind of want to gauge like how good Russell Wilson is compared to an NBA player. So uh, I get back the name Jimmy Butler, and if I look that up, that makes a lot of sense. Jimmy Butler's also an All-Star, uh, multiple time All-Star, and Russell Wilson's also been admitted to the Pro Bowl multiple times. So this player comparison is rather accurate and can add some insight to both players' performances. And I'll show it for a basketball player to an NFL player. So Vince Carter, longtime veteran, definite Hall of Fame person. So Steve Young, also another really, really good quarterback, long career, and definitely going into the Hall of Fame. So finally, we have two different timelines for player stats. So this one just kind of gives like counting stats for a player. So let's say I want to look at Tom Brady's kind of counting stats throughout his whole career. Kind of interesting like timeline format here. And you can kind of see like how his passer rating goes, interceptions, and how they trend throughout his whole career. You can see how he started out his career, not very good. Um, but he's definitely improving and becoming more consistent every year. And then we can show it for a NBA player like Michael Jordan. As we can see, Michael Jordan just pretty solid throughout his whole career, but towards the end he definitely started to drop off when he was 38 or 39. And then finally, we have the player performances, just kind of a more overview of a player's whole career. So let's throw in again Tom Brady from the NFL, and we can kind of see here how he started out slowly, but he was pretty consistent except for this one off year in 2008. And this information is kind of like a z-score of their performance based on the players in that year. So this year he really outperformed a lot of players in the league that year, but on the most part he's just kind of like a good, positive, solid player. And then same for the NBA. Let's do let's do Kobe Bryant. Then we say he kind of started off slow, and then he was really good 2006, pretty solid until he kind of declined towards the end of his career when he got injured. And we can see the same thing if we look at Michael Jordan, where he was kind of out of the league for a few years and then came back and he wasn't very good, but he was really, really good towards the beginning part of his career. So yeah, that was the Ballin' Out web project. Thanks for your time.